Good morning. This week I'm over at Martindale in the Lake District and I've come to do 3 quiet Wainwrights away from the bank holiday crowds. It's a 6-mile circular. First one's going to be Hallin Fell. Should be up there in no time at all. Then we'll drop down, lose a load of elevation, make our way to the base of Bonscale Pike. Pretty steep climb up to that one. Not exactly looking forward to it, but once we get up and tag that, we should have a relatively easy, gentle walk over to the 3rd and final Wainwright, Arthur's Pike. So parking is down there, St. Peter's Church. As you can see, there's a lot of cars there already. I can only assume that most of them have come up yesterday and wild camped last night. But straight out the car, we straight onto the up. So this first Wainwright, Hallin Fell, shouldn't be much further. But we're going up one of them steep grassy pulls that we love. So we've got some low-lying cloud going on, but we're on for some views today. Like behind us here, we've got Beta Fell. This one is Steel Knots. In the distance, the Knob. Usually beyond that, you'd see High Street, Kitty Pike and that. Clouds a little bit lower, maybe see them later on. Got the summit up in the distance. I've been looking forward to seeing this. Impressive obelisk thing, huge. Aye, Hallin Fell summit, 1,273 feet. Pretty impressive. Look at the views, looking over Ullswater. Unbelievable. This is where I'll be heading up this here, Bonscale and Arthur's Pike. Over here you'll have the Mel Fells. Blencathra is in the distance, but we can't see that. Helvellyn over that way in the clouds. Sheffield Pike. Aye, lovely. I'm not going to hang around on Hallin Fell for very long. As we guessed, there's been a load of people here wild camping last night. There's tents pitched all over. This place is going to get very busy very soon once they start waking up. So we'll get down and we'll head over the other 2. Now the other 2, I wouldn't expect to see anybody on at this time of the morning unless you're a serious Wainwright bagger. This place, our class, is a bit touristy. It's so easy, so accessible to get to. Like I say, I was out of the car and I was up in 15-20 minutes. So we'll get on to some more secluded hills. Yep, we've got this descent now. It's going to take us over to here, which is a place called Howtown, and then we'll start our ascent to Bonscale Pike. Aye, everywhere I go I can just see tents pitched. It was the same up there. I mean, you're supposed to be out of sight really. That's the unwritten rule of wild camping. As I've dropped down a bit, I've got a lovely view back over to Gowbarrow. Lovely from that perspective, isn't it? Looking up. Very nice. And a lovely descent. Very steady. Look at the view you got. Perfect. Friggin' glad to be down from there. It started off quite steady, but towards the bottom it got steep as out. It's very, very slippy. I don't usually bring me walking pole when I've got the camera, because I've got the camera in the right hand and I've got the pole in the left, and it's just a hindrance if I come to scrambles and things. Could have done with it there. I've purposely picked a shorter distance route this morning because I was over in the Central Fells last week, and basically the route we did proper stitched us. I didn't bother recording it because the first half of the walk I actually covered in my last lakes video, so I went back with my mate so he could do 3 out of the 4 fells I covered in that video, and then we went and did 3 new ones. So I got over Grasmere for 5:30 and we were on Helm Crag for 6:30, which was a bit of a treat because if you know the lakes, you'll know how busy Helm Crag can get. So accessible to families and things. So to have it to yourself was brilliant. My mate went over, he climbed the howitzer, no issues at all. He made it look a hell of a lot easier than I did in the video. Then we went on and we got Gibson Knot and Calf Crag for him. Headed over to the Easdale Tarn side of the valley to do Tarn Crag, Blee Rig and Silver How, and navigation just became an absolute nightmare. Not because of visibility or weather, because of the GPX route that I get off all trails. It was a ready-made route, and dear me, it was horrendous. Absolute fiasco, taking us on and off paths, so difficult to stay on your line, heading up random hills, just unnecessary elevation. At one point we were well over 2,000 feet, and I knew something was wrong because none of the 6 we climbed that day were above 2,000 feet. Nightmare. In the end we got it done. 12 mile, loads of additional elevation added, 6.5 hours, and I felt it the next day, which doesn't usually happen. Normally I'll have a rest on a Saturday night and I'll wake up on a Sunday. I could probably do another lakes route, but I still felt this one on Monday when I woke up for work. I don't think it was that particular route. I think it's accumulating fatigue from the beginning of the year. So I checked my statistics and I was knocking on for 500 mile, which is not unusual for me. I do a load of walking, but I'd climbed 50,000 feet in elevation. So my total for last year was 83,000 throughout the entire year. So the fact that I'm already at 50,000 feet and it's only May tells us I'm doing a lot. So I wanted to get out this morning, but I made sure I picked something a little bit more easy going. We're going to hang a left at this gate, follow the Ullswater way. Tempted to drift into a false sense of security on this lovely section here, but I know at some point I've got to get up there. That's what we've come up. Hallin Fell's up that way and drop back down. I reckon this path here is going to be mine, and that is an evil, nasty, steep bitch. Proper. Coming through Howtown now. Hotel here. Not really a village, more of a hamlet. There's not much here. It's got a pub, like, not be open yet. 6 o'clock in the morning here. Cup of scard. We're going to head off to the right, either up this way or this way. Get up to the top, do the ridge walk, and then it's going to bring us back down this way. I did some work on that. Sometimes when it gets to a Friday night after I've been to work all week, I question my own sanity getting up the next day at 3 o'clock to come and climb something like this. I said to her last night, I can't be arsed. She said, you'll go anywhere. And I do. I do every time. I still go. It's like Wainwright said, why does a man climb a mountain when he could be sitting in a deck chair, chilling? I don't know, it's insane really, isn't it? I love it. Looking back on Hallin Fell, you can just see the big summer corn there. And he's another idiot at daft o'clock in the morning, trudging up. Bonscale Pike summit's going to be up here somewhere. As you can see, there's multiple paths up it. I'm just following this one, following the GPX, but we've got to be 3/4 of the way now. See this fella here from back down there. He's on his summit push now. That'll be the way I'm going up. I'm catching him up. I don't want to get too close to him because I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't come here for chit chat. I'm grateful for a bit of cloud cover and wind because it's a bit George Michael warm. Hallin Fell looks mint, just a bit of sun hitting the peak, and then look here towards Helvellyn. The cloud cover there. Anybody on Striding Edge is going to have absolute scenes going across that this morning. Just see it popping up there. Monster. Work my way onto a proper path now. I've got about 500 feet left, but we're starting to get some views open up. You can see here, That's Place Fell, sitting basking in the sun. Steel knots. I'm hoping once I get up on the ridge I get some nice views over to the Nab and High Street Range over there. But aye, it's looking good, it's looking good. Whew. This is always a good sign when you start hitting rocks and scree. It means you're near the summit, especially on these far eastern fells. They tend to be very grassy until you get right near the top. That's the bulk of the elevation done. Once we get over this brow here, you'll reap the rewards of an absolutely cracking ridge walk. Not the steepest thing I've climbed, but there was a bit of graft on it. Half an hour hard work. We're up. I'm going to get these views now because if I get a bit further up the cloud might come in. Wow! Just over to High Street. Howtown Pikes. Mint. Sometimes I prefer a bit of cloud, it just makes it much more dramatic. You know, everybody likes these blue sky days, but that's just not reality of fell walking. This is what you want. Over in this direction here, you'll have Lord Pot Hill. What a name. That's a Wainwright, and also Weather Hill are over that way. Bonscale Pike will be just above here, and it's actually an outlying top of Lord Pot Hill. I'll be back in the future to do them. Scenes, man. Look at the scenes.
Approaching slight right.
All right. And look at this. Over that brow. I didn't expect this. You can never tell what something's going to look like until you get up there. I just didn't expect this. It's just, it looks like something you would get like in the Pennines. Just very, very grassy. Mist coming over, mint. Loving this, loving this. Summit. Bonscale Pike, 1,719 feet, sometimes called Swarth Fell, and that's Wainwright number 65 for me. On to the next. Next one's Arthur's Pike. It's the biggest one on today's route, but the height between this and Arthur's Pike is absolutely minuscule. We've got no elevation to go. Could be this here, could be that. We'll see when we get over there. Fortunately, we're just out of the clog, so you've got all the views. Anybody over on Lord Pot, it's not going to have many views. It's got to be up there. I can see the budgie that was just ahead of us. I've let him get well in front of us, but that's where we're going to be. Get a little bit of protein in us, bit of energy, like Katie Price's leg. Have you seen her lately? Can steer to her. Lovely path. Lovely path this. Absolute pleasure to walk. I can see two people over there at the summit. It just shows you how popular the Wainwrights and peak paggins become. The fact that people are up here at this time in the morning on pretty much not very well known fells. I mean, there's still places you can go in England, fortunately, where you can walk all day and not see a single soul. It's probably because it's the bank holiday and a lot of people have wild camped. I reckon any other weekend I wouldn't see anybody up here. What's this here? Remains of something. I'm not going through that. I have to jump this. Boggy shite that. Jump this. It looks like the remains of some type of summit shelter or not much to say. Destroyed. Here we are. Arthur's Pike, 1,749 feet. Look at the views back to Place Fell, Howtown Pikes. Lovely that. So that's Wainwright number 66 for me, which is going to lead us nicely on to next weekend, potentially to hit 70. Weather dependent. I've got 2 routes planned, depending if I'm solo or not. Either way, if the weather's all right, we're going to hit 70 next week, and I love that because that's my last weekend before I take some time off to prepare for the baby being born. If my mate comes, I think I'm still going to take the camera. I had thought about possibly not recording when I was out with somebody because you're having a bit crack, and I feel like you cannot give the video like your full attention. But as another YouTuber, Butchie Boy Outdoors, said to us, we do it for fun, and it's great to look back on your memories. I think that's why a lot of these like small outdoor channels like me take the camera on routes and camps and things, because it's a memory bank, and you can look back on the routes and the camps you've done when you maybe can't do it anymore. So I think we'll take it, and we're on for 70 next week. Following this path now, we're going to hit this bit here and then turn left. We'll get some final views of Ullswater before we start descending. One grievance I'll have on today's route is that I cannot see Blencathra because of the cloud. A small grievance. Other than that, you know, I'm happy with the views I'm getting. I bet you can see it later on in the day once this cloud clears. But yeah, I'm overall I'm happy with it. Look at the size of this corner here. I wonder what that is. It's not a Wainwright. Final views before I come down. Been a good day. Following this here, not sure where I'm going to start descending. I'm thinking probably down there. I might have to cross Swarth Beck and then follow this down potentially. The sun's trying to get out now. It's supposed to be lovely later on. I'll be home by then. This looked like a nasty evil crossing from back up there, but it's not really. It's all right. You couldn't make it up. Friggin' hell. Ayah! Friggin' hurt me finger there, like. Right, I'm on my way down. I want to watch where I'm going because these rocks are slippy. So I'll wrap the video up. Distance wise, this is absolutely perfect for me. I've really enjoyed it. Not too long. Weather's been all right. I've tagged 3 Wainwrights, and I'm going to be back home by dinner time before the circus descends over this place. Hopefully we're on for Wainwright number 70 next week. If I can grab another 4, I'm going to be absolutely buzzing before I have the time off for the baby. I thought that I would be dreading having so long away from the fells. Probably is going to be looking about August by the time I get back over on anything big. Maybe do a few short local routes potentially, but no, I'm looking forward to a break, spending some time with Jordan and the baby. See, because when I go out, it's a full weekend thing, man. I'm in bed early on a Friday, up super duper early on a Saturday. I get home, I'm knackered, I'm in bed early on a Saturday, and then sometimes I'm exhausted Sunday. So it's a full weekend thing to come and do something like this. But 6 mile, 3 or 4 hours out on the hill, perfect. If you're new here, you can subscribe to my channel here, and you can watch another one of my videos here. And fingers crossed, we'll catch you next time.